All right, you're on.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Shailene. Appreciate you helping me out here. All right, we're on. Welcome to Native Wellness Power Hour. Marcus Red Thunder. Um, First of all, I'd just like to thank Native Wellness for inviting me to be part of our Power Hour. I would like to dedicate this Power Hour this morning to my grandson. My grandson Malachi, he's my oldest grandson. Uh, I haven't seen him in a while, and just want him to know that I love him, I care about him, and the words that I'm going to be speaking today are going to be directed more towards my grandson, and he's probably, I think my grandson is now 4 years old, so I'm thinking that maybe sometime in the future, my grandson's going to come upon this, and he's going to say, "Hey, there's my grandpa," and he's sharing some good words of wellness. So this is for you, Malachi. And those of you fathers out there, those of you Native fathers out there, this is also dedicated to you. As far as being Native father, I would like to give a shout out to those ones out there that are being responsible fathers, that are being at least letting their children know that their natural father loves them and cares about them. Because I know that there's different types of fatherhood, and if we hold fatherhood sacred, it's just not only those fathers that are home with their companions, that go to work at 8, come home. Sorry about that. I got a call. So but for those fathers that are single fathers, for those fathers that are co-parenting, for those dads who are having a difficult time believing in themselves of actually being a dad, and so for those of you that are maybe carry a type of guilt for not being the father that that you think that you should have been. Maybe because of drug addiction, maybe because of alcoholism, mental health, whatever it may be. I know that there's some of us men out there, we hold on to that guilt of fatherhood, of our children out there. And this is also for you, just as encouragement, because I know that I know how it is growing up without a dad. And I was wanting and wishing that you had a dad growing up. And one of the things that I will say now is that those dreams and those prayers were answered for me when my oldest son was born. To me, Creator said, well, that dad that you always wanted, you be that dad. So he did answer those prayers. He answered it 5 times over. Because my oldest son is 30. Yeah, my oldest son is 30 now. He's born in 1990. Yep. Mark, he's 30 years old. Dang. Catching up to me, son. And in 26, 24, 22, 23. Yep, Antone. And then my youngest son is 28 months. So it's a beautiful thing to be a dad, to be a father. And I am most grateful for that. And to be a grandfather is a double blessing for me. And I love my children. I love my sons. I love my daughter. I have one daughter, she's 17, amazing young lady. I'm really looking forward to her just blossoming into a beautiful, young, poised Native woman. She's very aware of the political climate in America, and she's an activist for Native wellness. She's activist for Native rights. Just really proud of her. And I go on and on about being a dad, and being a dad's my life, and being a husband, being a brother, those type of things that we hold values to as men. Or what we should hold values as men. I don't want to shit on anybody, but these are when I talk today. I'm specifically giving advice to my grandson, and when you become a man, there's decisions that you need to make as early as when you're a young adult. Um, and one of the main teachings, grandson, is patience. As a man, you need to have patience. We just can't let our emotions run amok, and let our emotions control our behaviors and everything that we do. Patience and discernment, grandson, is important in life, because when you come across situations to where you have to make a decision in life, and if you're able to make that decision in a grounded way, most likely your decision will be made to help yourself and to bring honor to your family. Those are the type of decisions I'm talking about, life decisions on which direction you're going to go. One of the decisions that it stands before us as men as we get older is being a responsible father. And what it means to be a responsible father. For me to be a responsible father, the one main thing is just the one thing that I want my children to know is the love of their natural father. I want my children to know that their dad loves them. That's it. From there, I can build upon everything else. As long as they know that I love them, and that they know that I'm not shameful to express publicly that I love them, that I can say, hey, son, I love you, or give them a hug, those type of things. I say this because a lot of us men, we carry shame that has been put upon us, or shame that has been passed down from generation to generation. And we have to carry a facade of a tough exterior, like we're hardcore. And in a sense, that's good when we're out there hunting and bringing meat home for our family. But when we're dealing with our children, we need to remember to be loving and to be patient with them. Not only our children, but our companions. Remember to, on a daily basis, we need to continually remind ourselves that our emotions are not the only important emotions going on in our life. Be aware of the ones that are around you. Be aware how they're feeling. Take that into account also. As young men, as we grow older, we need to learn how sometimes to set our own emotions aside so that we can help others. That's why they tell us as young men, we need to go up on that mountain fast. Take everything away. Food, water, shelter, socialization, and go up there by yourself. Spend 3-4 days up there. And you'll find out what's really important in life. Being able to stay grounded. Learning that patience, to discern rather than be harsh in your judgments, in your actions, in your behaviors, and being kind to people. We learn that when we go up there. That's, I'm speaking just from our native point of view, because that's what I want to hold on to. And those are the teachings that I want to share with my family. Because when I come back down that hill, what you learned up there, you bring back to your family. You bring the blessings of the strength, the wisdom, the sacrifices, the thought, the prayers, the good energy of suffering in a existential way, meaning you're doing it for a purpose and a reason. When you go up on that hill and you pray, bring that back down to your family, and you follow those prayers that you said up there. Whatever it may be, you start following those prayers, and you look for the answers, for those prayers to be answered in those steps in that journey that you're taking. So I pray for my grandson. I pray for him to have good health. So I look for that in him. I look for that good health. When I see him, I see, oh, this boy's strong. My prayers are answered. I'm grateful for that. Then he'll feel it inside of him, and that validates him. But we follow those prayers. We say prayers for our companions. We pray that they can be healthy, and we pray that they can be calm. Especially at these times during this coronavirus, political upheaval, it's important as men that we remain calm, cool, and collective. And in order to do that, we need to maintain our own personal wellness. Physically, I'm going to just go through and there's 4 main areas, grandson. There's 4 areas that I want you to think about. One is physical, the other one is mental, emotional, and spiritual. Now, physical. If you take care of yourself, physical, son, these things right here, you're going to want to eat right. You're going to want to get enough exercise and stay active. You're going to want to drink more water. You're going to want to rest. And you're also going to want to go to the dentist or go to the doctor on a regular basis to get your checkups. Those kind of 5 main things right there, son. When you take a look at this exercise part. For anybody else out there, I'm talking to my son, but I'll open it up. What is your exercise regime? Do you have an exercise regime? Because when you think about it, why would you want to exercise? What is your motivation? Do you want to be a role model for your children or your grandchildren? Is that why you stay active? My brother Thosh, he always says that, just stay active. And I really like the way that him and his companion Chelsea talk about being active. They don't like spell it out exactly. Oh, you got to count carbs, you got to do this. And no, just movement. Just do movement. One of the things I'm doing, I built a sauna in my backyard, and one of my activities I'm continuing to build, clean it up, fix it up, take out stuff, build a better fire pit in there, build a better fireplace, those type of things. As Native men, some of the things that is good for us to do physically, landscape. One of the things, the way that I grew up, I was supposed to be a wino. I grew up on the streets, and the houses that my aunts and my moms rented, they were run down, rugged, ugly. We grew up with, they would say, poor. We never paid any attention to landscaping or mowing lawns or cleaning gutters or painting your house or, fixing and repairing these things. That was never taught. So I'm telling you now, it's okay to do that. It's all right. Fix your home up. It's okay. Even if you live on the res, you can still landscape your yard. You can still fix up nice fence, tighten them up, clean up the trash, clean up all the rocks, rake, fix yourself a yard, plant some trees. Plant trees. You know, that stuff, it helps you in your physical activities to stay active. And it's okay to rake your leaves, clean up, have a nice yard. I was fortunate, you know, my stepson Natosi, I came home the other day from Wind River. I was down helping out Eastern Shoshone, and I came home and my lawn was all raked up, and shoot, my stepson Natosi fixed it up. So I appreciate that. That's what happens, men, when you become a responsible, loving father. And it's never too late to become a responsible, loving father. And I'll say that again, it's never too late. You can be an old man, like my friend was 65 years old, kicking 70 in the butt. He became a responsible father to his son, who was well into his 40s. But they made that connection. It's never too late. So those of you fathers out there that have sons that you've never talked to, I would encourage you to reach out to them. And those of you sons out there that haven't talked to your fathers, reach out to them. Mend that relationship. There needs to be forgiveness. There has to be forgiveness both ways, because we're not perfect. We mess up. So we have to have that forgiveness for one another. So I tell my sons, you know, you have to forgive me, sons. I was just a young man when you're a little boy. So I made a lot of mistakes growing up. And I know that my mom, whoever my dad is, my natural dad, they made mistakes, and I forgive them. I don't hold that resentment anymore. Like I hate my dad for not being there, or my mom for raising me as a wino early. You know, I come to the understanding and the peace of heart and the peace of mind that this is what I do know. My mom loved me. Oh, my mom loved me with all of her heart, with all of her heart. And my dad, right now, if he knew, he knows, he's looking down upon me. I know my real dad passed, looking down upon me, and he's proud of his son. So this I know, this and that had to come from personal looking into myself and doing that healing, instead of holding anger and resentment and growing up mad and pissed. That would only interfere with my relationship with my sons and my grandsons. So that's my motivation for that, and to have peace in my heart for my mom and my dad. And so I continue to grow, you know. And when we talk about that physical, I stay active. I stay active. You know, I'm not the healthiest man in the world, but I consider myself healthy, and I stay active. I have a little 2-year-old son, so I have to be active. You know, he could be running in here, but I'm fortunate. You know, his grandma and his brother and his sister are here, so they're watching over him. And his mother's at a meeting right now. And it was one of the things I'm fortunate, and I'll give a shout out to my wife. And during this time of political upheaval with everything going on, you know, I have an amazing companion, and I really appreciate her. And during this COVID time, and work has been difficult, finding work, keeping up with everything, bills, all that kind of stuff. But we've stuck together. We've been through some hardships, but we always come back together. It's because we prayed together, and we laugh together. One of the things that as men we need to learn how to do is laugh at ourselves, and be willing to laugh at each other, to encourage each other and help each other out. Um, Give a shout out, since I'm talking about these strong, beautiful Native women in my life. I'll give a shout out to Northern Cheyenne tribe, who just elected 9 tribal council women onto their tribal council. Chairman, or chairwoman, I should say, chairwoman-elect Donna Fisher. Congratulations, along with 9 of the 12 Northern Cheyenne Tribal Council are women. So they have an opportunity to make something happen, and I'm all for them. Way to go, good job. And Congratulations to Crow, Chairman-elect, and all the other tribal council men and women that are in at this time. Keeping in mind that when we talk about tribal politics, there's a lot of negative influence that we can give if we're not personally taking care of ourselves. Tribal politics brings out a lot of ugliness as far as people calling each other down, getting in fights and stuff like that. So it's important at this time, if you have people that are involved in tribal politics and they start spreading a negative campaign or negative, you have a right to just let them know that, hey, it's all right to share your point of view, but you don't need to get angry and mad about it. You know, some I almost lost a couple good friends of mine about politics because they take things too personal, where a lot of times when as men, when we get into talking about politics, it's good if we state what we want, what we see, but not try to push it onto others. I have good friends of mine, solid men that were Trump supporters, and even though I don't agree with everything that they talk about, I'm not going to push them aside as far as their friendship, because their friendship and that brotherhood goes back further and goes deeper than their political views. It goes deeper than that. Because there's a spiritual connection with us. And so as brothers, that's how we can treat one another. We can share our points of views, but we always need to remember there's a brotherly love that goes deeper than that political strife. And what I call that are values that we hold on to as men. There's principles and values that we live by. And in order to honor those principles and values, we need to recognize what they are. And when it comes to brotherhood, we can argue and we can have differences, but when it really comes down to the health and welfare of our families and friends, we stand together and we stand united. As Native men, it's important for us to understand that we need to work together. We call it in Gona, our third phase, interdependence. That's what we call that third phase. We get into interdependence, is where we need to help one another. And as native men during these times, it's important to state your opinion and your ideals, but also to share the beauty and the goodness of what it means to be a Native man. And I give a shout out to, I go onto Facebook and I see a lot of Native men out there who share the wellness of what they're doing, the sobriety, the recovery, their family, their prayers, their prayer meetings, their peyote meetings, the songs. You see them tying drum, those type of things, and it's inspirational. And I would like to encourage all of you men out there to continue to grow that way, to grow that spirit of what it means to be to celebrate as a Native, to express yourself through song, through dance, through artwork, those type of things. Because when we talk about that physical wellness, when we talk about that spiritual wellness, we need those type of things that feed our spirit. As men, what is it? That's like a fire that burns within us. And in order to keep that fire burning strong, we need to add our fuel, our wood. What is that wood in your life? Identify it, get specific. For some, it's creating dance regalia. I got some dance regalia stuff now I'm fixing up for my youngest son. His bustles, bells, different things like that. And that really feeds my spirit when I get into working on those, doing feather work, You see, there's a fan back there I'm working on. I got there's some over here too, right back here. I got my other feathers. I'm working on some bustles for my son. But anyway, when I get into it, time disappears. Time goes away. And that's when you know you're truly feeding your spirit, is when your time just flies by. You remember that as a kid, when you played, time didn't matter. You didn't even realize an hour or two went by, or 2 hours. Some of you know what I'm talking about, that get into beadwork, um, crafting, woodwork, mechanicking, whatever it may be. That's one of the things that unites me and my sons is work, like woodwork. We just opened up a shop. My middle son Joey, he got laid off at the mine. He's a diesel mechanic. He got laid off at the beginning of COVID, right around May, around there, March, April, May, and so we found a garage and we just opened it up and started doing some car restoration. We got a couple of res cars that were restored. We got 1988 Pontiac Fiero, a little sports car that I'm fixing up for my daughter. My son has an 88 Monte Carlo. We have a 61 Thunderbird. But we stay busy working in there, in our garage, and it's a place of wellness that we go just kick it in there. And I was visiting, and we get to talking about good positive things while we're working on our cars, and laugh and just share in the fellowship of men. My sons, as a dad growing up, and my son's becoming men now, our relationship has changed. I'm still dad. I'm always going to be dad, but our relationship is evolving, and I'm open to that, and I'm grateful for that. And we're out. That's why I say, when you're 60 years old, you can still mend those relationships, because that relationship will always evolve. I look back, and I have those memories of my sons when they were babies and when they were toddlers and little kids and adolescents, and watching them grow, and the hard times and the fun times. And I look back upon that, and how beautiful of a blessing that was. And now that I'm a brand new daddy again, and I get to see this, I just feel so doubly blessed. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Native Wellness, so that I can look at this in a holistic way, to walk this road holistically, where I can not only just feed my spirit, but then I can also be aware that this mental part of me, I can control this. This doesn't have to only control me. When I get into a negative mindset, I can stop, because I don't want to perpetuate a negative mindset, because a negative mindset will cause illness. So I can stop that thinking. Whenever I get into a negative mindset, I can stop that. I can just tell myself, hold up a second. I don't want to think that way, but rather I would think this way. And I change it around more towards love, because that is the greatest medicine that we have, that our ancestors have given to us, and that the Creator has bestowed within us. The greatest medicine is love. And being able to share that love, and being able to recognize that love within you, and letting it emanate in your spirit by feeding that spirit. That love is an amazing healing gift that we all have. You can walk into darkness carrying love, and you can share it like a little candle, light somebody else's candle. Your flame won't go down. It'll stay the same size. But if everybody does that in that room, that dark room becomes light, becomes lit and bright. Love will bring light into darkness. And when I talk about that, what I'm saying is that if you carry grief from your emotions, and sometimes we carry grief that has been passed down for generation after generation. And sometimes we carry grief and we don't realize that grief is controlling our behaviors and our actions. So the best thing that we can do as men is learn how to express ourselves verbally, as well as through other means of expressing ourselves: artwork, writing, running, drawing, painting. There's all these different ways to go about expressing yourself, but we need to get it out. You just can't hold it all in. So we bring those emotions out into the light. And the reason why we bring them out is because of that love. And when I talk about this emotions, I'm talking about as men, we need to learn how, if you don't, learn how to let the ones that are close to us express to them that you love them and you care about them. Because love is a verb, just like healing is a verb. We need to continually be expressing it and doing it. It's more than just saying it. Saying it is one thing, hearing it is another. But when you do things that are love, something as simple of how many of you bring flowers home for your companion or your daughters? Little things like that. They are appreciative. And as men, sometimes I would have wasted money. I'm not gonna bring in the flowers, and we could be using that. No, that's where that patience and that's where that discernment comes in, man. Guys, women are beautiful and they have a lot of good healing qualities about them. But for me, the best way to bring out and to see the beauty in my companion and my daughter is to make them laugh. Be light around them. Let them feel good. Those type of things. Tell jokes around them. Be kind of silly. Let those ladies around you chill out and not be on the defensive. So as men, we need to just one of the things that I know that I've learned and put into my lifestyle is that calmness, to remain calm and not get all riled up in things. The one reason is because I know that my emotions are going to affect other people. So I want to keep myself in check. The other reason is because I know that my emotions control a lot of my health, energy. So I want to keep myself calm. I don't want that anxiety, that worry to affect my wellness, my mental as well as my physical wellness. I want to be a healthy man, so I'm going to be happy. And that's what I want to strive for. And whenever there is something that comes into my life that creates unhappiness, I'm going to stop. And there's imbalance going on, something's going on in my family. When there's tension, there's anger, there's hurt, there's pain, that's when for me, I'm going to stop and I'm going to get out my medicine. Cedar, sage, sweetgrass, or root medicine. And however you're taught, you pray with that. I use that cedar, and it was taught to me. Northern Cheyennes are the ones that raised me from an early age. And I was very fortunate to be taken in by a family in Bernie, Medicine Bulls. And the old man, Bert, were in sweat, and he told me a story. My dad, my adopted dad, Bert Medicine Bull, Bert K-Line Medicine Bull. He said that cedar, it was a storm, and that storm, it struck that cedar tree with the lightning, and that cedar tree grabbed onto a spirit of that lightning and that storm. And that storm begged and pleaded for his spirit back. And that cedar tree said, no, unless you give me the power that whenever they use you, use me as a medicine, you'll go away. So that storm agreed, gave him that power that whenever we use him as medicine, that storm will go away. So my dad said, whenever it's storming outside, lightning, windy, and your children are scared, and there's loud thunder, and it's really scary out there, use that cedar. You pray with it, put it on, and that storm will dissipate, and it'll go away. You can take that story literally and also metaphorically. Sometimes it could be a bright, beautiful, sunshiny day. Some of us have a storm that's hanging over us, emotional, spiritual, whatever it may be. That's when you take that cedar, you pray, put that cedar on, and you use it. And that belief, truly believe in it, it's going to lift that worry, and that anxiety, and that storm is going to dissipate. So you can have a more clear vision of how to deal with those, what decisions to make in those situations. We just take ourselves and we calm ourselves down and get grounded. It's okay to do that. And I don't mean that like, well, let me just put it this way. Some of us, we need permission. Some of us men, we need permission in order to succeed in life, because we were taught over and over and over again, you will not succeed. You're worthless. You only go to a point and then you'll fail. Then you'll go again, then you'll fail again, and you'll fail. You'll never succeed. Some of us were taught that, and we really, truly believed it. So I'm telling you now, you're worth it. You're worth making those positive, healthy decisions so that you can better your life. The best you possible. You're worth it. If you can truly believe that, then you're going to get up and you're going to set some goals for yourselves. You're going to set some goals physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You'll set goals for yourself and you'll strive to attain those goals. And that there is called maintaining balance. It's not about being perfect, son. It's not. It's just striving to maintain balance in your life. Recognizing that there's a sacred center within us, that seventh direction. And within that center is Creator. Your choice to put in something sacred in there, whatever that represents. God, Grandfather, Creator, our Heavenly Father, Allah, Buddha, Kese Manitu, Tikanshila, Maheo, Akbaratia. And these words that I'm sharing, these aren't mine. These are just teachings that I've learned, that I've searched out. But they come from the words that I share. And I know that my grandfather spoke these words, the original Red Thunder. And that's the right that I have coming from him. My Musum, Red Thunder, his name was passed on to me. Niamukupie Seuita Gusasigastuan. Ononton kapi speaks kwe. Namoya ni speaks kwe. Hetaki skate. Ono ni Musum. Mikape Siutagus speaks kwatak. It's my grandfather who gives me the right to speak this way. And so I use that right and to share with as many people as I can that this native way that we have is beautiful and it's strong. And as men, as native men, it's important for us. It's important for us to be well, holistically. it's important for us to be well holistically for our children and our sons to see that. So I'm not sure what the time is, but I'm gonna start wrapping this up. I know I probably didn't go all my time, but I just would like to thank NWI for giving me this opportunity. And I do. I get emotional because this is a passion for me. It's a passion for me to want to be a positive, healthy role model for my sons and for my grandsons. And like I said, I dedicate this one to Malachi, and I know sometime in the future he's going to look upon this and he's going to see it, because it's archived there, and it's for him, and that's my prayer. There's been my own grandfathers, own grandmothers who have said prayers for me. Same way, they left me medicine along a path, and they said, when our grandson gets to a certain age, he's going to find this. And it wasn't on Facebook or anything, more of a spiritual path that they left for me, and I picked those things up just the same way. My grandson is, maybe someday he's going to be going through Facebook, and he might be wondering, what the hell should I do? And he'll find this just the same way I found those prayers that my grandfathers and my grandmothers left for me on my path. When things got difficult, there were prayers that I found and I picked up, and they helped me. So that's the way I see this. And I wasn't planning on getting this emotional, but I love my grandson, and I know that that everything is going to work out well for him, for his family, and the ones that he loves and cares for. And that I appreciate, and I know. And when I do these, yeah. But grandchildren are beautiful. If you're a man, you love your grandchild, you love your grandson and your granddaughter and your sons and your children. It's never too late to be a positive, good, healthy role model. Even if you're kicking 70 in the ass, you can still turn around and say, where's my son? Where's my daughter? I want to be a father for them. So I'm going to say about that much, and then just kind of wrap this up. And I appreciate being on here. This type of things, when we're able to do this and express ourselves, it really feeds our spirit. So I appreciate that. And it's how it's difficult getting online with NWI. I was running into issues, but this is probably why, when I talk and get real like this, I get emotional, but that's just the way it is. And I love life. I love my companion. I love my children. And there's so much more. I'm going to think back on this. I should have said this. I should have said that. But I'm going to share one story. Is that, and this is in honor of Northern Cheyenne women that are on council. Old man and old woman, they were riding horseback into town. And they got right in the middle of town, and that horse started bucking, and everybody was watching that, because that old man, he got bucked off right away. And here that old lady was on there. She was riding it out. She even started spurring. Zay! That old man, he got bucked off, and everybody was watching. He really jumped up. He really acted like he did. He really said, he hollered at that lady, "Hey, just jump off like I did." He got bucked off. But anyway, our women are strong. And I hope the best for Northern Cheyenne, and all you ladies out there. This is for our Native men, and you need to believe in us. We need the belief in our Native women. So if you've been hurt by Native man, or men, you need to get over it. And we need to start looking at our sons and our Native men in a more validating way, in a healthy way. We see them that way, and they're going to start stepping up. They're going to start stepping up to those principles and values that we speak of, if we start looking at our sons. in a stronger, healthier, more warrior way. And when I say warrior way, I'm talking about our warrior way is a way of love. It's a way of gratitude, and it's a way of generosity, of helping one another. But we help one another by helping ourselves. So love yourself. Take care of yourself. Um, Thank you. Appreciate it. Hi. Um, I'm not sure if Shailene, do you need to turn